All right, this is the third time I'm trying to record this because OBS and audio outputs and Reaper and ASIO is not necessarily a mix I wish on anyone. So I think I got it working now. I want to show everyone how I am creating a certain voice effect that I've been using as a voice stand-in for basically something that is machine-like but is supposed to sound like a person is speaking. So I am starting with noise generation. In Audacity, just white noise, default is fine. I'm selecting just some amount of that, and I'm going to the noise reduction. I'm reading a noise profile from the selection, and now I'm going to apply the noise reduction to the entire track. So that would be, where are we? Effect, noise removal, noise reduction, preview. And this weird chirping is exactly what I'm going for. I am going to export that as just noise, and that is all I'm using Audacity for right now. In Reaper, I am putting the noise on the track. I need a synth track, and I need a third track for the vocoder plugin. The vocoder, or a vocoder, is something that basically applies the pitch from one track on the sound of another track. So if you imagine you have a person speaking on one track and a lion roaring on the other track, then you can make it sound with a vocoder like a lion speaking in a human voice. And that's what I'm trying to do here. In order for the vocoder to do its thing, Reaper comes with revocode, which is perfectly fine. The vocoder needs it needs its audio coming through inputs. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I don't want to hear the noise or the synthesizer in the master channel, in the master sum, because I only want what the vocoder makes out of these two things, not the individual tracks. So I'm going to mute both of those, or I'm pulling the faders down to 0. With a right click on this little knob here on the vocoder, I'm saying I want to receive from the noise channel and I want to receive from the synth channel. You could also just go right click on the noise and the synth channel and say I want to send to the vocoder channel. The noise channel goes from audio channel 1 and 2 to the vocoder channels 1 and 2, which is perfectly fine. The synth track is supposed to go from the audio channel 1 and 2 to the synth channels 3 and 4, to the auxiliary inputs as in the second pair of inputs on the vocoder channel, the vocoder track. And because we have pulled the master volume on these, or the volume in the master on these to 0, we are, or negative infinity rather in audio speak, we are going to get the receive pre-fader, as in we are picking the signal up before it goes into the final fader that determines how loud it is, or determines the volume of it, the level of it, but post FX. That is to say, specifically on the synthesizer track, we want the synth effect that is a plugin on the track to still be an effect. We don't just want to have MIDI signaling that is coming here. The vocoder needs audio on both inputs. And that is basically it. So we're getting pre-fader, post-effects, sends or receives on these two different channel pairs. And now I just need to create, I need to select a synth. I like using Vital. Vital is great. I like using the basic shape, specifically the square wave for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm using the square wave. Oh, sorry. I'm using the square wave twice, but slightly detuned one time, just a couple cents out of tune, so that it sounds a little bit more weird. And like there's a little bit of a chorus effect on there. And then I'm also going to make the attack a little longer, just a couple of milliseconds. The square wave coming in from 0 to full just out of nowhere can lead to cracks and clicks and some artifacts in the sound that we're trying to avoid by slowly or relatively slowly over a couple of milliseconds ramping up the signal, so that it's not coming in like 0 to 100 full force. So that is all that we should need here. Now all I need to do is insert a new MIDI item on the synth track. And then I'm somewhere down here. Maybe I do want to. I'm picking this as like the baseline for the speech sound that I'm going for. Just basically some random durations that it sounds like a rhythm of a human speaking. Below that, I'm just going to add absolutely random notes that are playing around the same time as the notes that we have here. Oh, this is overlapping too much. So this is basically just random noise again. But when I'm playing that now only through the vocoder, yeah, this is a little quiet right now. I'm adding a compressor plugin. Recomp is great. Auto makeup. Give it a couple decibels of knee size. And might as well also add a limiter. I like the W1 limiter, which is a free plugin. And there basically that's it. So with this combination, we can basically just get anything that sounds like human syllables.